Okay, so we're watching EDSA here. Uh, Nothing else is really interesting on the, I guess, scans. There are a couple interesting ones, but nothing too crazy. EDSA is the one that has all my attention right now, though. It doesn't really have any resistance until I think 18. So from here, this one's kind of free. It just made a huge move pre-market, though. A lot of volume. So the market just opened. Let's see what this actually wants to do. A lot of volume coming in here. APRE also looked kind of interesting, I believe, for the, was it the daily? Oh no, okay, this is the wrong stock. Let me see, ZIVO. And no, it wasn't ZIVO. There was one in particular that looked really good to me. ATER on the daily. I mean, it has potential to break its daily high, 1197. There is a lot of volume coming in. The 1 minute is kind of crawling here. I would really just want to see what this is going to do on the 5 and 10 minutes. So we'll wait for those. A lot of buying actually coming in right there. Next 1 minute just opened. Let's go check on EDSA. So EDSA held up. EDSA is taking off now. So high day on EDSA is 987. Just broke through that level. Let's see if it can break 10. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my I forgot to have my mobile view here. Okay. So massive rejection right there on EDSA. That's okay. It's not looking too hot though on the 5 and 10 minute now. Huge rejection actually. That's pretty gross. So let's go to ATER and check on this one. So I like the way that this one's holding up here. I think I might buy in. Well, I accidentally bought in on a spike there. That kind of sucks. But I'm buying in because the 1 minute looks like it's gonna curl. If not, I'm gonna stop out. So stopped out right there. Not what I was expecting, especially the fill on my buy. I wasn't expecting to get filled at 96, and I had to stop out because I already hit my stop loss. So there's one loss for today. Down only $80. EDSA. That's unfortunate, honestly. That's that's kind of shitty, I'd say, but it's so well. So another, well, basically the reason I bought it was because the 1 minute was curling. I expected more from the 5 minute, but I like honestly I didn't look at the 5 minutes, so that was basically my mistake right there. I did think it had potential on the next 1 minute, which was this candle, to actually break this last 1 minute candle high, but couldn't hold those levels, so that's okay. ZIVO popping up here, breaking through. Rejecting VWAP, EDSA. Let's go back to this one. Now it's below VWAP. APRE, ATER. SYBX popping up. Rejected VWAP. VSTM. So they're all kind of making the same move. They're hitting VWAP, rejecting, or they're breaking a high and then rejecting. CRVS. CRVS on the daily looks like it has potential. If it can break its daily high of 580, then this is looking solid. But that means it has to get above VWAP. And judging by what it did pre-market, as soon as it hit VWAP, it just fell. That was a lot of volume on that spike, though. Kind of crazy there. So, nothing too interesting. ATER looks like it's flagging to the downside. EDSA rejected, and now it's just, I think it's a small pullback here before we see a sell-off again. Maybe I can get in for a short, but we're gonna have to find out whether I can even short it or not. ZIVO keeps hitting my scans. Oh shoot, that's why. Okay, so I missed this entire move on ZIVO. ZIVO has a lot of room though. It has this entire gap to fill between 7 and 8. So we still have a lot of room on ZIVO. Pre-market, it's high right here, 825. Got some resistance here, which it's rejecting. And then we got another one right here. So let's see if we can get a small pullback, and I'll go ahead and take my entry for the break of this high, which is 714. So I like the 5-minute setup. The 5 minutes looking great. 10 minutes also looking really good. But we need to see if this thing can actually take off. I might take bigger size on this one just because it's not a huge mover, but it depends on what this wants to do, if this even sets up how I want. Okay, so this candle on the 1 minute, I want to see it hold this level. I don't really want to see it break below, especially not VWAP. I want to see, if it touches VWAP, I want to see it get bought up and hold this level so that we can go ahead and take another trade for the next 1 minute candle. Maybe even get in early, but I don't know, judging by what just happened on ATER, I'm not really sure about that. So I would definitely want to get on the next 1 minute for the break of 7 though. We could see a move past 7. It has potential to fill in this gap between 7 and 8. But it has to hold 7. It already rejected 7 once. So let's see if we can actually see it hold. I'm going to buy in here actually at 85 with 500 shares. Just because I like the way that this is climbing towards the end of this last minute. So we can get the break of 7 here. I had to sell there. That's alright. I was trying to sell at 7. As soon as I saw it hit 7, went all the way to 93, I just sold it. I wasn't going to risk holding it. As you can see, it went to 705, and now it's just kind of floating in this area. I'm not really sure what it's going to do. So 710 now. So I definitely sold too early. I should have known. Ah, my God, that's it gets me so mad. That's what happens when you hesitate, I guess. Let's see if I can reposition and get in once more. That was a huge move right there, and I just totally sold too quick on it. That's okay. So you can get it on a micro pullback here though. I'm gonna take smaller size just because I don't want to risk more than I already lost. Let's see. Get in. Oof. It's not what you want to see. I'm in at 31. I'm gonna have to stop out. So okay, I'm gonna finish up for today because 2 back-to-back immediate losers. So this is a small pullback, but I was expecting it to keep ripping higher, and I bought in on the, I was trying to buy a micro pullback, but this pulled back way more than I anticipated. So, this next 1 minute might just keep going, but just took an immediate loss right there. Here we go. It's probably gonna break this high. Let's see. 748 is the high. 42, 50. So, that's really unfortunate. Especially with this move here, I took big position or larger position than normal, and it had a huge write up. I wanted to hold through this pullback. I just didn't want to see it drop like all these other stocks, so I sold for a loss. It also broke past the I guess my stop loss, which is 15 cents, so I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna stop out. So the first one in ATER was actually just a bad fill. I mean, I was trying to get in the 20s, I think, or maybe the teens, and obviously it just got filled at, not the top or anything, but in the 30s where I didn't want to get filled. And then on this one, I mean, I felt like it pulled back, not enough, but I felt like it was just going to surge or keep continuing a little higher, faster at least, but then it just dropped as soon as I bought in, so it's kind of unfortunate. It was at 15 for a while, and then it went all the way down to the teens, or like 10 or whatever, and I just sold it, so I can hold it. The only rule I haven't broken today is 3 losses total. So usually I like to have 3 losses or a max stop loss of 150. And so right now, I mean, I'm at 120. I like how this is setting up, especially on the 5 minute. The 5 minutes not looking so bad. 10 minutes looking pretty good as well. So I might take position once more. But this, depending on how this goes, it might be my last trade. So I really like how this is setting up here. I do think the 5 and 10 minute both have potential to the high, I guess the long side. So high of this candle is 766. See if we can get a break above this 1 minute, 736. I'm gonna buy in here, 500 shares, 720. Looking for a break over the high, 736. Selling there. Didn't want to break fast enough. Again, sold too soon, it looks like. Great. So I basically cut my loss in half. It's having a little hard time breaking 736. I don't want to get in and hold for a false break. So I also, that's something I need to change. I have an 2-cent offset here. So every time I sell, I'm actually selling 2 cents below just to make sure I get filled. But even then, sometimes it doesn't work. So I might have to swap out and actually, change it up a bit. Maybe have a 1 cent stop loss, because it's kind of eating away at my profits, not including, all the fees on top of that as well. So I'm not really sure if I want to continue trading. Let's see what else is popping up here. Surf is popping up. So Surf really, really clean here. Perfect bull flag, and this is the second run up. So, we could potentially see a second pullback and then a third run up, but just, it depends on how this is going to move. So this one's looking really clean. Not a huge mover though, 50 cents here in this entire ride up and several candles. So SBLK is moving as well. ZIVO, when I was just trading, EDSA. EDSA is fading, APRE, ADIL. Let's see, ATER. So ATER, ooh, nice move there. So it broke the daily high, how I originally had mentioned in the beginning of the video. That's what I was kind of going for, especially on my entry here. I was hoping it would just take off, but it immediately like sold, and there's nothing I could do. So really nice move here. It's riding up pretty well. We might take a trade on it, but I'll take small size. So let's see what this wants to do. If we can get a 2 candle pullback here and then a climb again, it might just take off on this one if I'm being totally honest, because it's holding 12 perfectly. But if it breaks below 12, I want to see that it can at least hold 1175. I don't want it to break lower than that. So there's a flash to 1175. See if it can climb back above 12. If it can climb back up above 12, then that looks really bullish. And we can go ahead and take another entry. But right now it's kind of floating around 1180, 1190. The spreads are not so big. They're not as big as they used to be. They're about, I don't know, 10, 15 cents. So let's see what this wants to do. 12.15 is the high, or 12.16 really. Let's see what this actually wants to do. So let's say I took a trade here at 11.95. I could potentially take a trade, a lot of buying going in. 11 or 12.16 is the high, so there's the break of the high. So that would have been a solid trade. I would have made, basically all this back. But that's all right. And judging by how this one traded in the past, I probably would have held this position just because it hit 1175. Now it's back above 12, and it's holding 12 pretty well. You know, you see a flash at 1204, but it's still, you know, not breaking through. 1203, 1208. So it's still holding this range, and that's what it did. You know, previously it would hold, I guess, an area pretty well, and then it just shoot, like it would take off. So we're, you know, we're hesitating to take any trades at the moment just because my quick loss in ATER just it really sucks that happened. And then, you know, the second loss on ZIVO, that one was just kind of the same situation, but ATER definitely has a lot of potential. 5 minutes still looks clean. 10 minutes still looks pretty clean. It's kind of sideways at the moment. You can see this is, let me draw this out, kind of a support line, resistance level up here, got another support line down here, or resistance, I guess. But I mean, if it bounces off VWAP, that's technically support, whole dollar support. So it's back below 12, but it's not flushing or anything. It's just kind of holding this range. Let's see if it actually dumps, or if it can actually hold its ground here. So there's a break below the previous 1 minute. Low is 1191, and this one's 1189. Let's check on the other stocks while we're waiting for this one to set up. Surf is not fading, but it had a massive rejection there. EDSA climbing back to VWAP. I don't know. I don't trust EDSA. The way it just rejected right here. Whether it can get back to its, you know, high a day, I honestly don't think so. I think it's just gonna false break, yeah, just like that. So yeah, this one's pretty disgusting, I'd say. This one's gross. Let's go back to ZIVO. ZIVO climbing here. Really nice move, touch of VWAP, and now it's bouncing off that. Really, really clean there. Even broke the 10-minute high, 5-minute high as well. So this one's looking solid. That was a really nice move, actually. What else is moving? We got VSTM. Below VWAP, not really interested. APRE. Also below VWAP, not interested. SYBX, same thing. This one looks kind of slow though, not a lot of volume coming in, at least compared to the other ones. The 1 minute just crossed as well, so I'm not really super interested. Let's see if we can get a pullback on ZIVO. This is the one I've had most success on today, so 5 minute has potential actually to break its pre-market high, which was 839. So this does have potential. I would like to see this 10-minute really do some work though. I mean, it hasn't really done much in this second candle. ATER kind of fading here. It's a pullback on the 5 minute though. I like the way that this is slowly declining to VWAP. I mean, it kind of looks like it's going to start a curl again, so this is looking kind of clean. Looks like it's good for another potential entry here. Let's see if it can hold 12. So you can see this is basically a flag in a way, but let's see if it can actually hold these levels, because it keeps popping through 12 and then rejecting and then going through rejecting. So 1230 is the area that we need to see, you know, break and hold. And then shoot through 1250, especially if 1250 can hold, we're looking solid. But there's not a lot of resistance from here. Our next resistance spot's at 16, and the next one's around 19. So there's not a whole lot of resistance in this area. I mean, I could draw this spot here probably, or this one over here, I guess, the low here. It's around 12. So yeah, I guess this is our first resistance level. But so here it's climbing back to 1230. It's looking clean. As I said, you know, I should have entered on this candle over here. Like pretty pretty good to actually curl back up. This is the third climb, I'd say. So this is one pullback, and then here's the next one. This is where it starts getting a little tricky because it's, I don't want to say it's a bull flag or whatever necessarily, but after the third climb, it kind of gets a little dicey just because it's already, I guess, had a lot of time to climb. But at the same time, I mean, it's had its pullbacks and it hasn't really gone too far where it's really overextended here. So analysis shooting. Okay, so now it's $1 from VWAP, and you know, it's still looking relatively clean. Like, it's looking pretty good, I'd say. Not too extended. But you know, this was already a huge climb here, 60-cent climb. See if we can get another sideways consolidation and possible entry. The 10-minute already broke, 5-minute already broke. So like I said, my entry should have been back here a long time ago. I missed an entire move. ZIVO is still climbing here. ZIVO's kind of slow though, slowing down a lot. Not really sure. SOGO moving, ATER moving again. Back at 75, EDSA. Yikes. APRE, CRVS. Okay, we're gonna go back to ATER. So this one's getting a lot of volume now. I guess this is the one that everyone's focusing on at the moment. So kind of unfortunate. I lost on my first trade. Now let's see if we can get another entry here. We can possibly see the break over 13. It's holding this area, you know, fairly well. Hasn't broken lower or flushed down yet, so that's a good sign. If we can get a 2-candle pullback, that looked great. So there's 1250, don't like that. If it breaks below 1250, that's fine. I just need to see this pop back up and actually hold. I do like this 1-minute candle though. It's holding 1250 fairly well. Potential entry here. So it's still holding, but it's in the 50s now. I don't want to see a snap down below 50. Although it's holding 50, like I could get in here. I just I'm hesitant because it's so close to 50. I really don't want to get dumped on. So there's 53, 52, 51. A lot of buyers stacked up here though. So it's a really bullish sign that it actually held that level. See if we can get a potential entry here for the next 1-minute candle. It actually broke the 1-minute low, 1250, 1251. So yeah, it barely broke it, but it did. Okay, so there's a drop. So I was hoping that it would kind of pop back up there, but not enough strength. So let's see. 5 minutes not looking so hot. 10 minutes also not looking so hot, but we have 2 more minutes. So let's see if this one can hold and we can see it climb back up above 1250. If this one can hold 12 and pop back to 1250, the next 1 minute, which is 1 minute prior to the next 5-minute opening, you know, we can actually see a climb again once more. So that would, you know, keep in mind that would be the 4th climb. So 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th climb. So that's where I'd be a little nervous, but this one's, you know, pulling back, you know, pretty well. I'd say it's properly pulling back. It's not overshooting. It's not, you know, doing too much work here, which is good. So this is holding 12. I hesitated. I hesitated right there. I was gonna get in at 25, 12.25, and I couldn't do it. That's an obvious move right there, completely obvious move, and I didn't do it. Okay, with all this hesitation, I think I'm done because if I'm acting on my emotions, it's just not gonna be a well trade. I'm not in the right mindset, so no, I shouldn't be acting on my emotions right now. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here because that was such a clean and obvious move, and I hesitated. That's so upsetting. And look at it's going without me now. 1250. If it breaks 1250, that's gonna be pretty solid, I'd say. But from 25 to 55 now. 65 now. Look at that. Oh man, how I totally regret not taking this position. I could still get in here at 1250 for an entry. It's the 1 minute still looking clean. And I'd probably hold for the next 5 minute. But I regret that so much. So whatever. So like I said, I'm done for today just because I'm acting on my emotions at the moment. Can't be trading on emotions for sure. You don't want to be caught up in that. So finished it down $67, $68 really, which isn't so bad compared to my $122, what I was down originally, and still not as bad as my $88 loss, which I first started off with. Not as good as my $55 loss. I think that's where I was down after I took a second trade, but kind of upsetting, especially right here. Could have made all this back, could have finished maybe even green, 40 cents. That would have been $100 something, I think, or about $100, even with the smallest size. But I just didn't want to do it. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and check in the market tomorrow, see what's going on. And I might have to wait on these moves, honestly, because this, I actually felt I was really confident in this first position, but it just snapped lower, and that's kind of what I get for being impatient here. But ZIVO went pretty well, I'd say. Had a small winner, sold way too soon, and then this one bought in on the micro pullback, then just dumped on me. I sold it because I was like, I have a 15-cent stop, I gotta sell it. Sold it. Next thing you know, it takes off. I'm like, dude, what is going on, right? So, and then that puts me down 122, and then I made it back on this candle here when it was holding. Pulled back, 2 candle pullback, really solid. Didn't break the high how I wanted exactly, so I sold at the top of the candle, right when it met the last 1 minute high, and I just sold right there. Again, I regret not taking that trade on ATER. As you can see, it just pulled back somewhat, and then now it's falling back down, I guess. Like now it's actually, it looks like it's going to break below VWAP, unfortunately, especially on the 10 minute. It doesn't look so hot. So wish I took this trade, should have taken this trade, hesitated, and that's what I get for it. Same with this one, said I should take it over here, didn't take this entire climb from 12 to 1280 over here. Sucks, but that's all right. Didn't even see these moves. I saw like the back end of it after it was pulling back over here, but I missed this entire ride here, just because I thought it was gonna be like EDSA, where it just false breaks and then falls below VWAP, just as this one did. So it climbed here, made a nice move, and then just broke below VWAP, and then it tricked I guess some buyers here into breaking above again, because this was around the same time ATER was breaking above, and then false break, flush back down, and now it's just finished for the day, it looks like. So for all the short sellers though, I mean, if you're riding this move here, awesome job, good job, because this was this was pretty clean, honestly. This is a really nice setup. So kudos to those who actually took these trades. Again, ATR solid, but hesitated. So anyways, wrapping it up today. I'll go ahead and see you guys tomorrow for another trade, and we'll see what the market has for us.